First of all, I have to say, 小家. So nice to be home. I just arrived this afternoon, and I'll tell you how I managed to get here in the afternoon instead of my scheduled last evening later as part of the talk to come. But it's so nice to be home as usual, and so nice to see everybody here. This tells me you have to arrive early to avoid disappointment, otherwise you don't get a seat. Well, we'll make room as people come in. What I would like to propose today is to start with something very special. You know, every year when I come back every year, and I just scratch my head very hard. What can I bring back every year so that you can have something different? Last year, if you recall, which was only about 4 months ago, when I was back here, I started an adventure of no PowerPoints. Remember? I didn't use PowerPoints because I realized that when I use PowerPoint, everybody is looking over my head and staring into space. And I realized last time when I didn't use PowerPoint, the effect was not too bad. So I'm going to continue again today with the adventure without using PowerPoint. But I brought something else. I brought children books. So, what I'm going to do is to share with you 2 books that are rated among the top children books of 2016 among the world. So I'm bringing 2 books and I'm going to share them with you, one at the beginning, one at the end of the lecture, of the discussion today. What I plan to do is to read you this book called The Sound of Silence. The Sound of Silence. We're going to figure out how a little boy in Tokyo is probably noisier than Singapore, how this little boy in Tokyo found the sound of silence. After which, we will then invite Alina to help us play the Mindful Check-in app. Remember? Right, for those of you who were here last year, I developed this app called Mindful Check-in. And I welcome you to also download it so you can use it at home as you also go on your quest for the sound of silence. Then we will begin on the topic of Humanistic Buddhism using this text, which is so important because we've often asked Master Shenrue to give us one book. You say, you know, the Buddhism is not like Christianity or many other religions where you have one Bible, one Quran. What happened in Buddhism? You got a whole library of canonical texts. So we've often asked Shifu, please give us just one book. We're also lazy. And finally last year, we have this, Humanistic Buddhism, holding true to the original intents of Buddha. I've read this book together with a group of friends in Australia. We've finished the whole book. We've also done book summaries I'm going to share with you. And we found this really, really useful. And I'll talk about it in a little while. And let me tell you how useful it is. I read this together with non-Asians. You know, these are like Australians. And these Caucasian Australians, I would think, have no patience with these Chinese names that are in here. On the contrary, they read all these Chinese names and discovered how precious Buddhism is and how precious Humanistic Buddhism was, because it has gone through hundreds of years, thousands of hands, before it can reach us today. So, this is a very precious book, and if these Caucasian Australians can read from cover to cover, so can you. But before we get there, shall we start with a children's story? Shall we? Okay. Let's listen to this young boy by the name of Yoshu. Okay. Yoshu is preparing to go to school. Now it's time for you to pay attention and just listen. Little Yoshio wiggled with anticipation. 3, 2, 1. He threw open the front door. The sounds of the city swirled all around him. Tokyo was like a symphony hall. Yoshio listened to the sound of his boots squishing and squashing through the puddles, and the tiny raindrops pattering on his umbrella. The sound of his giddy giggles made him giggle more. Suddenly, Yoshio heard the strangest sound, high and then low, squeaky and vibrating. Amazing! It was a koto player, carefully tuning her instruments. Then the koto player played. The notes were twangy and twinkling. They tickled Yoshio's ears. When the song finished, Yoshio said, "Sensei, I love sounds, but I've never heard a sound like that." The koto player laughed, and it sounded like the metal bell that swayed in the wind in Mama's garden. "Sensei," Yoshio said, "do you have a favorite sound?" "The most beautiful sound," the koto player said, "is the sound of Ma, silence." "Silence?" Yoshio asked. But the koto player just smiled a mysterious smile and went back to play. Yoshio bowed to the koto player and ran to school. "Where can I find silence?" Yoshio wondered as he listened to the thwack of his boots on the pavement. He listened for it through the school day, but there was always some kid making noise. At recess, the sun came out and Yoshio went to the quietest place he knew, the bamboo grove at the edge of the playground. But even there, the bamboo made a take sound as the wind banged its stalks together. He closed his eyes and heard the swish, swish, swish of the wind making the leaves talk. It was beautiful, but it wasn't silence. Walking home from school, Yoshio listened hard. He could hear the horns of buses and the whoosh of bullet trains and the beep, beep, beep of the traffic lights. But no silence. Yoshio knew so many different sounds, loud and soft, sudden and soothing. But silence, where was silence? It wasn't in the dining room, where there was always the sound of chopsticks and slurping and chewing and swallowing. Silence wasn't in the bath, where even his toes made noise and little droplets of water kept dripping off his nose. Drip, drip, drip. That night, Yoshio tried to stay up late to catch the silence while his family slept. But his eyes got heavy and then heavier, and soon the sound of a distant radio became part of his dreams. The next morning, Yoshio woke up to his neighbor's dog barking and barking, and oh no, he had missed the silence. Yoshio walked to school early. His sisters whizzed by on their way to the park, screeching Yoshio's name. Where was silence? Yoshio heard the creak of the school gates as he pulled them open. No one was at school. He put on his inside shoes and listened as they shuffled on the shiny floor. The classroom felt different without anyone in it. He sat at his desk by the window and pulled out a book. He loved the story, and as he read, he forgot where he was. Suddenly, in the middle of a page, he heard it. No sounds of footsteps, no people chattering, no radios, no bamboo, no kotos being tuned. In that short moment, Yoshu couldn't even hear the sound of his own breath. Everything felt still inside him, peaceful, like the garden after it snowed, like feather-stuffed futons drying in the sun. Silence had been there all along. It had been there between the thumbs of his boots when he ran, when the wind stopped for just a moment in the bamboo grove, at the end of his family's meal, when everyone was happy and full, after the water finished draining from his bath, before the koto player's music began, and hovering in the air right after it ended. It was between and underneath every sound, and silence had been there all along. Silence. And now, we will play the Mindful Check-in app for us to discover our silence.
It is now time to check in. From wherever you've come, that is now behind you. Let's focus on the present, because there is nothing more important than the gift of the moment. Please ensure that you are in a safe place. You may either sit or stand with your spine upright. If your legs are crossed, uncross them. Place your hands on your sides or on your lap. Gently close your eyes. We will begin by scanning the body for any areas of tightness and relaxing those tensions. Let's start from the top of the head. Relax. Relax your forehead, your eyes, your ears, your facial muscles, your lips. Relax. Feel tensions evaporating from your head. And now, let's move on to your neck muscles. Relax. Shoulders. Upper arms. Lower arms. Hands. Fingers. Slowly let them go. Now work your way down the spinal cord. Relax one vertebra at a time. thigh muscles, calf muscles, your feet, toes. Feel all tensions melting into Mother Earth. The next step is to scan for any remaining areas of tension and anxieties. Honor them and the conditions that have led to their arising. Gently, ever so gently, let these tensions and anxieties out of the body and your system. Now that the body is completely relaxed, let's slowly bring your attention to the tip of your nose. Breathe. Watch every in-breath and out-breath, without control and without judgment. There is nowhere else to go and nothing else to do. Simply continue to watch your breath until you hear the sound of the bell. away from the breath to your ears. Hear what is going on around you, still maintaining a quiet body and mind. Gradually move your attention to the eyes. Gently open your eyes and smile. Be grateful to all the conditions that give you whatever you have before you. You are now ready for the miraculous moment to be the best that you can be.
Whether you have found the sound of silence or not, I hope that you have found this meditative check-in process helpful. In this world that is characterized as VUCA, meaning volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, so now they call this world called VUCA world. It is so precious for us that to handle the complexities that surround us, that we have a meditative, mindful check-in. And that's the reason for developing this app. So that in between meetings, or as you enter your house after work, or as you enter the office, or when you wake up, or even just before you go to bed, you find this of value. One of my volunteers, who is in my Buddha's Birthday education project, is a medical doctor. She had a patient who suffered from insomnia. After she introduced this app to him, he managed to fall asleep and became a patron of our projects. So there are some medical effects to just being able to calm down and relax. It's good for our body and mind. If nothing else, I believe it is good for us to be able to disconnect before we reconnect, isn't it? To first just disconnect from the situation, just before a meeting, before a hard day's work, disconnect, check in, then reconnect again. Do you find that your senses are now more open? Right, your eyes are brighter, your ears more open to the sounds of the world. Today, we're going to cover the prelude and the foreword of this book. So I'll set the stage for all the other great lecturers coming behind me. So I get the easy job. But we are going to start with a few questions, and we're going to start with the easy one. Say you are asked, and you are now being asked, what's your religion? Okay? What's your religion? What would you say? By a show of hands, how many people would say that I'm Buddhist? Okay, majority, all right, hands down, thank you. How many of you would say I'm atheist or agnostic, I don't believe in God, or I don't know if there's God or not? How many? Show of hands, right, a few. How many would say I am not religious, or rather no, another one. How many would say I am non-Buddhist? I mean Christian, Muslim, Jew, whatever. So non-Buddhist. Anybody non-Buddhist? No? How many of you would say I am not religious but I'm spiritual? It's a very common one now. Yeah, not Buddhist but I'm spiritual. Thank you. See, so actually there are many types of people. So now the question is, what is Buddhism compared with other religions or other kinds of belief, to spirituality? So what is it that makes Buddhism different? Now those of you who profess that you're Buddhists, would you like to attempt an answer? What would you say is different between Buddhism and other religions? Or even those who may have any knowledge. There's a microphone in front of you, so you may share your thoughts. Anybody? What would you say is different? Okay, let's say with Christianity, the Abrahamic religions, what do they have? A God, isn't it? Very often a super being, a God. Now, can a Christian or a Muslim or a Jew become a God? No, you can't. But you can be born in heaven with God. Now, what about us? Often people think that an equivalent of a God in Buddhism is who? The Buddha. But actually, is he God? No, he's not. So can we become Buddha? Yes, that's the goal. So that's the difference. Now, if you are a Christian or a Muslim or a Jew, very often, can you take on another religion? Often not allowed. It's a very exclusive, most of them, very exclusive. But what about Buddhism? It's actually very inclusive. Master Xing Yun always says that you can be a Muslim, you remain as a Muslim, but you can still take on the Buddhist faith. So it's like this tool bag. You can have many tools inside. So I can learn science, I can learn astronomy, I can learn mathematics, I can learn art, I can also learn Buddhism. So when I need it, I pull it out. And later today we're going to find out when we're going to need it and when we'll pull out Buddhism. So what else about heaven? You have to have, what about heaven? Right? In heaven, that's where God is. What do we have in Buddhism? With our pure land, isn't it? Now is heaven here on earth? We go there after we pass away, right? But what about pure land? It can be here on earth, it can be every moment. In fact, we say the pure land could be in our mind. It could be our created pure land. So in spite of all the troubles that are happening around us, we can be in our pure land. So some of the differences between Buddhism and other religions, one of the biggest difference, according to Master Xing Yun in this book, is that Buddhism believes in equality. What the Buddha has done for us is breaking down all the social inequalities. He allows what we call social mobility, so that even a woman can have access to the Buddhist faith, which was very rare in India in the past. Women had no access to the religion. It's only the men. And even those of the lowest castes, those who are abandoned by society, they can come into the Buddhist Sangha. And today we see the same thing that Master Xing Yun has done for us. He has brought the ordination for the bhikshunis, the women, back to India, to Tibet, through his ordination worldwide. So equality is extremely important. And today, he says that not only the Sangha members can do Dharma talks, so can lay persons. Laity can also become Dharma lecturers. So it's again equality. Men, women, all have access to Buddhism. And Buddhism is not just a faith alone. It is also what we call truth. It is psychology, it's philosophy, it's science. Science is starting to prove many of the truths that the Buddha taught us. So Buddhism, in a way, I would like to think, is so superior and it's so all-rounded. I can spend my entire life and I'm barely touching the tip of the iceberg. and therefore it's so exciting. And it helps us. It helps us, and I'll be talking about this again and again, to wake up, to get up, and to light up. So I'll come back to this metaphor of awakening, waking up. Now it's not enough to wake up. You know, in the morning when the alarm rings, okay, the alarm rings, we wake up. Alright, press the snooze button. But we are still put the bed sheet, blanket over, turn around, continue sleeping until it snoozes again. So what do? We have to get up. Now after we get out of bed, we could be just sleepwalking through the day. So we have to light up. So when we light up, it's not just doing my work. I have to light up the day for others. I have to cook the best meal for my family. I go to work and give that brilliant smile and light up the office. You'll be amazed what you can do tomorrow when you get into office. Remember, go in with a big smile and say, "Good morning, everybody. I'm here." Buddhism does not exclude all faith, any other faith, so it is very inclusive. Buddhism is inclusive, so equality, inclusiveness. Then people ask, next time, so among the Buddhists, very many Buddhists here, I ask, would you say, the next time when I ask you, so what is your religion? You say Buddhism. How many of you would say Humanistic Buddhism? What's your faith? Well, thank you. Yes, thank you. Humanistic Buddhism is a little different from what we call traditional Buddhism. So next time, I'm going to give you all the answers. Next time, you tell people, what is your faith? And you go, Buddhism. And because Buddhists here are still the minority, well, not so now, but just in case you have many other non-Buddhists around you, you would be able to stand up and say, yes, I believe in Buddhism because it is a religion of equality. And this is the world where we talk about equality and democracy. That's Buddhism. And I believe in Buddhism because it's so inclusive and all-encompassing. We welcome all. So, you can say that. But next, you're going to be among a group of Buddhists, many of whom may not know about Humanistic Buddhism, and you say, I believe in Humanistic Buddhism. So the next thing I ask you, Buddhism, now why Humanistic Buddhism? Now, what's so special? Now, what are you going to say? Buddhism, Humanistic Buddhism, is really a solution. Just like Buddhism is a solution. It's a solution to the inequalities of the world. Buddhism is a solution to all the exclusivities in the world. But Humanistic Buddhism is a response to a major problem that's happening around the world among Buddhists. The Buddhist population, I'm afraid to say, is on a decline. I think I mentioned this 4 months ago. According to Pew Research Center, currently, Buddhist population worldwide is about 7%. By the year 2050, we're expecting the Buddhist population to be down to only 5%. That's pretty sad for me. It means that by 2050, time for my next life, I have to look very hard to find my Buddhist family. So those of you, first of all, those of you who are married with children, please make sure they take on the Buddhist faith. Those of you who are not married yet and are single, what are you waiting for? You have two choices. You become like me, or you adopt some children and pass on the Buddhist faith. I want to make sure I come back and I don't have to look very hard to find my Buddhist parents. Because Buddhism is so good. But yet, if we don't respond to this crisis of having fewer and fewer Buddhists around the world, all of us will be on a big quest for the Buddhist parents. So what do we have to do? We have to make humanistic Buddhism more relevant, isn't it? More relevant to society's problems today. More relevant to the children, so the children want to become Buddhists. More relevant to your friends and your relatives, so that they will want to become Buddhists. So if Buddhism is all about sitting in the cave and meditating on your own, it's not reaching out to anyone. Sure, I become enlightened. Sure, I now light up, but I'm not in touch with the world. I'm all alone. Or, if Buddhism is all about chanting, then there is going to be a group of people who say, I don't understand these chants, I want to hear rap music. Then there's another group who says, no, I prefer Christmas carols. So we have to make Buddhism relevant to current problems. Now, if the world today has no problems, if everybody is happy, of course I don't need Buddhism, isn't it? It's already a pure land here on earth. There's no need for a solution if there's no problem, isn't it? You won't take cough medicine if you're not coughing. So the same thing. You come back to today's society. Is it completely at peace? We've just talked about now young people committing suicide. Primary school students committing suicide. What happened to the resilience we used to know? I think my parents will be very sad if I decide to commit suicide just because I can't face my grades. Actually, honestly, what happens when I don't get a good grade, I just go back and say, okay lah, beat me lah, what else? I'll do it the next time. But there's always a future. Is this world getting more sustainable? If you look at how we are using up the resources of the world, if you don't worry, I worry. That even if I come back next time, I'm going to be living among trash. Do you know the amount of plastic in the oceans today? All the turtles eating up the plastic, and all the whales, if you open up their stomach, why they're having a stomach ache? Because there's so much plastic in the ocean. If you look at the weather, that's the messed up weather, it's getting more intense. In fact, out of the 9 dangerous boundaries that we mustn't exceed, already 4 have been exceeded. We are having a serious problem. The Arctic and the Antarctic, the snow caps are melting at an accelerating rate. Awareness, waking up to this world that requires each and every one of us to do something about it. And as humanistic Buddhists, this is where it makes a difference. By learning about Buddhism, we have to use it to solve today's problems. From prayers to actual social services, from mindfully eating and using resources in the world, by being very ethical about our behavior and our choices. It's called mindful and ethical consumption. by being just a better human being. And this is what being human means. Taking care of the future. And that's what lighting up means. Recently I was speaking at the International Women's Day on the 8th of March in Sydney. And together with me was a member of parliament of a city close by. And she said, Jenny Macklin, she said that one of the greatest problems among our young people today is apathy, complacency. And I believe it's not a unique Australian problem. I see many nods around the room. Apathy. I don't care. Mocha. Mocha. We're all very kiasu, but at the same time, mocha. What will the world look like? That means what? It's I, me, mine. That's all. And anything that doesn't touch me, mocha. But guess what's happening? It all comes back because of karma. I'm so sorry, it's a boomerang. It goes one big round and comes back to you. That's what it is. No escaping. But as Buddhists, we know it because we understand causes and conditions and effects. Sooner or later, it's going to come right back. It doesn't hurt me, it will hurt my children. If it doesn't hurt my children, it will hurt me in my next lifetime. Sooner or later, no running away. So, Buddhist communities, we have to reinvent ourselves. And we are very fortunate we have Master Xing Yun. Venerable Master Xing Yun helped reinvent Chinese Buddhism with Humanistic Buddhism. And this is what all my Australian friends, after reading this book, have discovered. He reinvented a Chinese Buddhism that was dealing with funerals only. So from death to life. It's dealing with our lives, how we can be joyful all the time. He reinvented a Buddhism that is always in the mountains to a Buddhism right here by an MRT station. He reinvented a Buddhism that is only based on lots of chanting, to one or maybe scholarly Buddhism with a lot of books, into one with comics, with apps, with encyclopedia, with different ways to access on YouTube. So it's very accessible and popular. He reinvented a Buddhism where you sit in the shrine to one whereby you have to do so much in the field next door when you do Vesak next month. Buddhism has come to life. And that is why we believe in Humanistic Buddhism. Very often my colleagues ask me, so you always say Humanistic Buddhism, so what is non-Humanistic Buddhism? So non-Humanistic Buddhism is your traditional Buddhism that focuses only on chanting or only on meditation. You know, today people, you tell them Buddhism, they think, oh, you meditate every day. Every time, you look at me, I'm a Buddhist, right? Very obviously so. Then they always ask me, how many hours do you meditate every day? I have to tell them, my Gong Fu is not in meditation. But my Gong Fu is in something I'm going to tell you later, because I know how to wake up, I know how to get up, and I know how to light up. That is Humanistic Buddhism. So Humanistic Buddhism is taking Buddhism to making it a real solution to the problems of the day. the problem of a diminishing Buddhist population in a world that needs Buddhism, in a world that needs the guidance of the Buddha's teachings. Well, let's look at what is, I would call it traditional Buddhism. I invented a word for it. I call it the ivory tower Buddhism. It's ivory tower because I work in Nantian Institute where all these scholars keep talking about, wow, these Buddhist studies are so cheap. If you don't know Karma, Dharma, and Sarvastivada, and Abhidharma, and all that, then it's like you're not the in circle. It's a cheap Buddhism, so it's ivory tower Buddhism. And then you have to pay a lot of money to come and take our classes. Master of Arts in Applied Buddhist Studies in order to be able to be in the in circle. But Master Xing Yun said, no. Buddhism is for everyday you and me. It's to create joy in the world. It's to get us out of this suffering world. And the way to get out of suffering is not to go to the Buddha and say, Buddha, Buddha, please don't give me any suffering. Buddha, Buddha, please let me not die. Buddha, Buddha, please let me not fall sick. If I want to die, just go. Maybe we all hope lah. But unfortunately, we can only hope. Of course, we work on our merits every day, we try very hard. But humanistic Buddhism is more about how to work on our mind. It's mind-focused, and that is what the Buddha taught us. It's not focusing on pure talk and theory only. The Buddhist scholars know how to write a lot of papers. But one day you ask them how to face death, Kung Fu not there. What have we got that's in our Kung Fu? We focus on joy by giving other people joy. That's where our Kung Fu is. Let me share a story with you. Recently, I met a Sri Lankan. Didn't know who he was. He came along to Nantian Temple. If you haven't come to Nantian Temple before, you must come at least once. Let me tell you why. This man just Googled. He said, Google, Buddhism meditation, Sri Lankan Buddhist, has already, since he was little, he followed his mother, who is a very devoted Buddhist, to the temple, and the mother will make him sit for 12 hours. Meditate. So since he was young, he can meditate for 12 hours. Every full moon and new moon. Twice a year. Then since young, he always tells his mother, Mother, you know, sitting like that, what are you doing? You're doing nothing. The whole world needs you, and then you're just sitting here for 12 hours. But no choice, huh? You're still a young boy. So you have to listen to mother, sit for 12 hours. So very good sitting Kung Fu. His name is called Sudha. His last name is called Udaya. After he grew up, he went to Melbourne and set up his own business, and he became the chairman and founder of the Udaya group. Now that he's in his 50s, his mother's 77, he decided to have an early retirement. Because he's a very successful chairman, gave his business to his sons, and he said, Google, Buddhism, meditation, Nantian Temple. So he came to Nantian Temple, and I don't know what kind of fortune he met me. And let me tell you the first thing I did to this man. He told me he's the chairman, retired chairman for Udaya Group. Retired chairman. Okay, so I asked him, do what? Do what I do every day. Go and pick up litter in the garden. So we went around Nantian Temple's garden to pick up trash. Because that's what I do. Papa, when you visit me, you know, I always pick up all the litter. Because a lot of visitors, so my beautiful garden gets filled with tissue paper and maybe nappies and cigarette butts and so on. So here comes this man, and I was carrying my little gripper, whereas he was carrying my trash bag and picking up with his bare hands. I go like, wow, this is a good chairman. At the end of it, he told me, this is correct Buddhism. Not the 12-hour sitting meditation. Says, this is what his mother got to see. Because Buddhists are to be doing something in service to the world. It includes picking up litter. And so I thought, this is a great chairman. So I started telling him about what I'm doing with the Humanistic Buddhism Center, and now he's coming on board to give me advice. I've got a free counselor. And he's also saying that he set aside a charity fund, and now he's decided to put this charity fund into the center. All from picking up litter. Well, this is a big litter. No, and occasionally when I pick up litter, I pick up coins. My biggest fine is $10 bill, but this time even bigger. So every one of you, please, you want to start picking up litter? It's very meritorious. And let me tell you where I learned to pick up litter. I learned it in Shilai Temple when Bao He Shang, Venerable Xin Bao, was the abbot of Shilai Temple, and I see him picking up litter. You see, he can pick up litter all the way to become the chief abbot of Huo Guangshan headquarters. Now, I'm going to do a show of hand now, or rather just ask around. How did you first come into contact with Buddhism? You think back. Many of you are Buddhists, or even if not, you are here. You must have come into contact with Buddhism somehow. Tell me, how did you first come into contact with Buddhism? I asked this question of my study group who was reading this, and these are the typical answers. Let me see by a show of hands. How many of you came through Dharma talks? Your first contact, Dharma talk. No. First contact, chanting. No. Some, okay. So how did you come? How did you? Okay, try some more. 滴水法 Food. Food. How many people? Food. Yeah, that's me too. 一碗随缘面，就随缘到现在。Alright, then how did you come? Okay, come on, help me. How did you come in contact with Buddhism? Parents! Wow, so filial. Yes, the family, right? How many of you family? Family. Oh, quite a number. See, that's why I tell you, must have Buddhist family.
But it wasn't quite a pleasant experience, as in like my mom asked me to attend Fa Hui when I was very young.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wasn't pleasant, but now getting better. That's right, that's great. That's great. What about, let's say school? How many of you came from school? School, no? Dharma school, Sunday school, Dharma school, Sunday school. How else? How else? Meditation, that's right. Meditation. How many meditation? Oh, quite a few of you. Thank you. Any others? Sorry, books. Oh, that's correct. Reading books. Anybody reading books? Thank you. Any others? So you can see it's very multifaceted, isn't it? So Buddhism cannot be just about one thing. It has to have 84,000 gates, they say. Later on, I hope some of you, I will introduce things like that, like board games, apps, storybooks. Storybooks, it doesn't have to say Buddhism. You look at this, your show, The Sound of Silence. You would think that this author may be Buddhist. To think that silence is there all along, just like emptiness. It's there underlying everything we do. Isn't it a profound discovery? from a young child. And if a young child starts learning about silence, looking for silence in such a noisy world, what a beautiful inner world he will have in spite of all the noise around him. So humanistic Buddhism, what Master Xun Yun has done is open it up. So it could be festivals, right? Like Vesak. Some people may not know Buddhism, but they know to come to Vesak because it's so exciting. It's so fun. In fact, our neighbors may come to Vesak and look forward to it every year just to eat all the beautiful food that you prepare. And all the games, and playing all the games. So according to Master, this book, Humanistic Buddhism equal Buddhism. So we are taking all Buddha's teachings and then bringing it out to people in a way that they can understand. And I divide that, and I call that actually self-empowerment. Buddhism is about empowering the self, as opposed to empowering an external being. So when we pray to the Buddha, I often tell people, when we pray to the Buddha, first we pray to an external Buddha, but over time, we will start to pray to the Buddha inside me. Over time, we're asking the Buddha to please show me the way so that I can become more like you. And that's why I invented this board game, Dear Buddha, Where Are You? While we retrace the footsteps of the Buddha, like going on a pilgrimage, is to eventually come back to the Buddha that's inside of me. And this is what we want to wake up to. So, what are the 3 steps? First, to wake up. Yes, and then to get up. And finally, light up. When we wake up, Master often tells us what to wake up to. I am Buddha. Okay, now, do you dare to say that I am Buddha? Yes or no? Yes, so let's say it. I am Buddha. Try again. I am Buddha. What does it mean? Sorry?
Don't feel comfortable that you are...
See, first of all, I don't feel comfortable. Buddha is up there, Buddha so beautiful, Buddha so perfect. Whoops! When I look in the mirror, I am Jue Wei. Look right, look left, I am Jue Wei. Where is the Buddha? But what does it mean? What does it mean? It means, first of all, I wake up to the fact that I can have self-mastery. If I use a different color, can you see? I must have self-mastery. What does self-mastery mean? Okay, self-mastery. I be my own master. Be my own master. So let me share with you how I got here. Yesterday, actually last week, I was in Taiyuan, in China, in Shanxi. I went there for a conference on a particular person called Fa Xian. Went back to his hometown called Xiangyuan, which is next to Taiyuan. Now, what is so important about Fa Xian? Fa Xian is the first Chinese pilgrim that went to India and returned to China. And why did he go? Because he wanted to get the Vinayas, or the precepts, that were missing in China. So he made a very long trip and came back. But what's so special? First, he came back. The others went and couldn't come back. Second, he started this journey reputedly when he was 60 years old. 60. But I'm not going to ask you by show of hands how many of you know. But at 60 years old on foot, and then taking the boat all the way back to China, total 15 years. He returned to China at age 75. After which, he went on to do translations of all the texts that he brought back. Isn't this a great master? Did he do this for himself? No way. He did this because he empowered himself to go against all odds for the benefit of Buddhism, for the benefit of the Sangha, so that they all can have a set of Vinaya to follow. So I went to Xiangyuan on this conference of invited scholars, only to discover that it's actually all part of the One Belt, One Road China. So we get VIP treatment for the whole week. Okay, so no problem. Then out of Taiyuan to Shenzhen in order to take a flight to Singapore. Guess what? The Taiyuan flight, the VIP treatment over. Right? So on the way back, flight delay 1 hour. Flight delay 1 hour with a 2 hours connection at Shenzhen means I miss my next flight. And I knew it when I was sitting in the plane. I told the crew member, I've got a flight to catch. She says, you will miss it. I will miss it. So, but the crew member, I must say these Chinese are so nice. So she gave me her phone and she tried calling every number we can think of. And she tried, but no help. What can I do? I was sitting inside the plane. Now, can I change the situation? I can't. I can't fly. And even if I can fly, I don't have the flight controller didn't give me the opportunity to fly. So, what are my choices? What are my choices? Accept it. Luckily, I have Gong Fu. And my Gong Fu is called 念佛. That's right. So, call Guan Yin Pusa. Right? What else can you do? Gong Fu, I cannot change the external circumstance. Change myself. I must not get too exasperated. Not to worry. I tell you, wearing this robe is really good. Because I cannot be the first to jump. I cannot frown. I must appear absolutely cool. And then they give me water. I was giving the water to the crew, the flight attendant. Because the flight attendant, wow, all sweating. Because she doesn't know what to do. No, I'm missing my flight. Never mind, it's okay. And then when I reached Shenzhen, of course I missed my flight. But I gave myself a mission. I said, I will try. So you see this Buddhist nun running 100-meter dash. No, sorry, 1 kilometer dash. I didn't know Shenzhen airport so big. So big. Let me tell you, next time, if you want to plan a layover in China, 3 hours minimum. 3 hours, okay? Learn from my painful experience. But at the end of all that running and all that sweating, I tell myself, hey, I'm pretty fit, you know. I made it to the counter to find that it's closed. So what can I do at that time? Nothing, right? So buy the next flight, and then go get the airport hotel, then go to the hotel and quickly call help. But you know, in China, there's one major problem: communication. You know, the whole place. No, you know why I couldn't call for help? Nobody's phone is tuned to dial out overseas. So I went to the business center. There's only one phone in the entire airport that can dial overseas, and it didn't work. Only Guanxi Pusa got a way of trying people. And then after that, what can I do? Say, oh, Wi-Fi. Okay, Wi-Fi. No matter how my iPhone 4 cannot connect to this Wi-Fi. So I can only wait until I go back to the hotel room and quickly WeChat Jue法师 in Sydney, in Wollongong. Venerable Jue over there is 3 hours behind us, ahead of us. Luckily, she hasn't slept yet. Why? Because she was very tired during the day she took a nap. So, wow, Guanxi Pusa. And then she called it. What a big group. What am I trying to tell you? Self-mastery. I cannot change the fact that there was a delay. I cannot change the fact that the entire airport only had one phone and the phone didn't work. It's not that you have money, you can buy everything. So, what do I have? I have faith. I have faith that I can manage it. So you get this very thin Buddhist nun managing 5 big heavy suitcases, lugging around the whole airport. So, I'm here. There's only one thought in my mind, and that is I must make it here in time for the talk. Because it's my next commitment. I must be here before 8 p.m. today. That was it. So it's very good. Thank you. Taking charge. We must take life into our own hands. Nobody gives us life. Nobody hands out things to us. So praying to the Buddha is not to pray that everything 顺顺. Everything must 发财. It's not. I must have the best of health. No need. I must have the best of heart, the strongest of heart. Then I am Buddha. It's only with trying circumstances. I mean, it's not a simple case, a small case, but it just happened as I used it. But it's only with this one small case at a time that I get closer to becoming Buddha. Because I have one big test. I don't know when that test will take place, one day. How am I going to deal with that one big test if I cannot pass all these little tests? So we should be welcoming all the trials of life, because it's with these trials that I build up my self-mastery. To be able to remain calm and still smile. To be able to see, to let the world know that because I'm a Buddhist, I have faith in myself. After all, no big deal. We'll still make it. According to Master Xing Yun, the goal of learning Buddhism and Humanistic Buddhism is not just to become Buddha, but really it's about enlightenment. And enlightenment, lighting up, is with all these places, one step at a time. After self-mastery, the next part is to get up. And to get up is to be able to serve the world. So here is service. And that is when we understand in Buddhism interdependence. We are all interdependent and we have different kinds of conditions. So if the conditions are very favorable on earth, let's start with conditions usually means it's unfavorable to us. In a very unfavorable circumstances, because we're starting off as a student, what then do? We have to 忍啊, we just have to tolerate it. We have to tolerate, endure it, be resilient towards all these tough conditions, because all these tough conditions will pass. Then we build up the strength. As we build up the strength and the ability, maybe one day I can really fly a plane. As I build all these up, then I have better conditions. I must learn to give. 布施. So it's very simple. When I have, I give. When I don't have, I endure. But 忍 has to be done with wisdom. 忍 is not about just accepting. It's about seeing the conditions around us, understanding what's going on around us, and then turning the circumstances around as we can. Right? So it's not, oh, I missed my flight. No, I have to find ways to solve the problem, buy the next ticket out. And then they tell me awful. Say, awful? Why? Why? Because holidays, Chinese now very rich. They're traveling so much. So never mind, find me the next one that's not full. Just go down the road. So we always find a solution to the problem. So we get up by being of service to others. Remember, it's about benefiting others. It's not about me taking. If I can afford to give, I give. So I used up my entire honorarium that I get for presenting my paper into buying my next tickets. So I know, I know, I took a vow of poverty. So everything I have, I must give back. It works out, zero-sum game. Finally, light up. Light up is about transcendence. Transcendence, going beyond the situation. Because it will pass. Right? Missing the flight will pass. Transcend, I come here and talk about it. And let everybody laugh about it. But there are many things that we can transcend. Even picking up litter, everything that you do, cooking. We can go from waking up, self-mastery. We can go from getting up, giving to others or service, considering what you do as a form of service. Until finally transcending it, so that we can light up. It's no longer a bother, it's no longer a chore. We can transcend in terms of time and space. And all this is what the Buddha taught. And that's what humanistic Buddhism is. The essence of humanistic Buddhism, what the Buddha taught, what is essential to human beings. So it's still situations that we face every day. So it's very essential to my life. But in the process, it's what purifies my mind with every difficult situation, with every opportunity to serve. It purifies my mind, and it's virtuous and beautiful. Actually, I was very happy my flight got delayed because today I met so many nice people on my Shenzhen flight, including little boys who come up to me and say, "Ami Tuo Fo," including all the stewards and stewardesses were so kind to me. So every opportunity is always a good opportunity to give joy to others. Always. The mission, therefore, is to guide modern day people find peace and stability, that inner peace that's in us. It's not much time, so we can't have our exercise, but never mind. Let me just summarize. Comparing Buddhism with other religions, there are two major qualities. Do you remember what they are? Equality. It's great. And inclusiveness. Thank you. Comparing traditional with humanistic Buddhism, what do we have? This humanistic Buddhism is engaged. Right? It's always relevant. Always relevant to our daily life. And it's joyful. I hope you're having a good time here. It's always about joy. And what I call humanistic Buddhism, I call it the GPS of life. every time I have a problem, I will come, open one of Master's book and find the answers. I don't know whether you have this experience, or you go draw one of my Dharma cards. If you have a problem, come afterwards and draw your card. I often find my answers from Buddhist books. So it's my GPS of life. And only then can it really become relevant. And then with that, I solve my problem, I can become joyful. Here, Humanistic Buddhism is about self-empowerment. It's not about empowering an external force. It's about empowering myself. And in the process, when I wake up, it's about self-mastery, and I tell myself, I am Buddha. Slowly, with every encounter, we'll become more and more confident about calling ourselves Buddha. Getting up is about service. You have the 3 acts of goodness. We have the 4 givings. We have the 5 harmonies. Different ways in which we can always serve. And transcendence, I call it no struggle. Whatever happens in our life, don't struggle. Every time I catch myself frowning, say relax, mindful check-in. Each time I find myself unhappy, of course I do, I'm human, right? So every time things not shun, so want to frown. Very, pity. Why things happen this way? At that time, tell myself, remember, no struggle. The moment will pass. When I'm sad about something, again, watch the sadness come and let it go. So treating things with equanimity. Beautiful flowers today, but I know in a week's time when I look at it, it will look different. But it's still part of life. And to accept and to appreciate and to transcend. And recognizing that difference. In summary, Humanistic Buddhism, this is what I have learned about Humanistic Buddhism that I'd like to share with you. I have to tell you that all these is what I have personally gained from my reading groups as well as through my own experience. So you may have your own realization, but my current realization about Humanistic Buddhism is people becoming Buddhists through people. And it's about through people. We can't become Buddhists on our own, sitting in a cave, being very meditative, mindful on our own. But only when we understand the interdependence of the world, that we can become Buddhists. Like serving water to my father who is coughing. It's becoming closer to becoming a Buddha. The ability to serve. And I think it takes both ways, right? It takes someone to receive and someone to give. This is interdependence. I hope that this has made sense to you. That today I've given you an overview and a summary as well as my personal experience. Hope it's not too boring. But that it would motivate and inspire you to get a copy of this book. I can tell you what's so precious about this book. It's Master's 90 years of experience. When I first read this, I thought it was going to be very difficult. It's like Qi Jing, Heart Sutra, so condensed. But what it takes is really patience. Patience to read. And patience to say, I don't understand now, no problem. Because it will be in our consciousness, in our memory, and it will just keep coming back, coming back. We don't have time to read many books, read one. I have also invited our friends in my study group. We have this very constant study group that meets once a month, and we come to read this book, and every time I don't read, they read. Because if I read, what's the point? 法师读书会. It's like I read and I present. So instead, everyone takes turns, and I was so impressed. Every time I look at all these Caucasian Australians. And we have also a graphic artist who took a summary of each chapter and has put them down into summary iconic form. So I have given the copy to Venerable Jue. If you are interested, join a study group and you can have access to these soft copies. We have all 6 chapters, but I'm still asking them to do it better, so they are rushing as we speak. So we've got 3 chapters with her, the other 3 coming soon. Then at the same time, one of the things we've done is that every time we discuss this, we also share our personal stories. For example, one guy who's Russian, he's received a traffic ticket, a traffic fine. And when he opened up the official looking envelope and discovered there was a traffic fine, he told himself that Master Xing Yun says, you mustn't get angry. Because it won't help. If you get angry, guess what? Your family gets angry and he doesn't want to do that. So, what did he do? He just happily paid the fine. Nothing you can do, isn't it? What's the point of getting high blood pressure? Just pay the fine and get on with life. So all these stories, real stories, are now collected in what we call turning points. So if you go onto our Facebook page, Turning Points Stories, you can read about our stories. And we're collecting stories from all over the world. We welcome you to join me by sending in your stories. This is called 法布施. Just, it's all these little stories that will make things come to life. We just need a picture or a video and your stories. Very short. Write to me. I have my card here. And send me your stories because I'm now doing crowdfunding. I'm using the startsomegood.com crowdfunding site to do a turning points story. I want to make documentaries and have an ongoing website of this Facebook site to collect these inspirational stories of the world of people practicing humanistic Buddhism. How they've turned around difficult situations, big and small, in order that they can have, they find humanistic Buddhism as the GPS of life. So I welcome your stories, or I welcome you to also support us on this. We plan to start, because we have 1 month, so we are building up at the moment, so we will start in mid-April to go all the way up to mid-May for Vesak. So we're building up towards Vesak. If you are interested, I have outside these expressions of interest. You can just write down under other comments you are interested in turning points, and we'll keep you in contact when we're ready. In August this year, from August 7th to 11th, I'm teaching Buddhism in modern society. You can consider this as a break to come to Nantian, stay in the temple, and spend 1 week intensive with me to learn about Buddhism and modern society. We will talk about how Buddhism is used in this globalized society, Buddhism and economics, Buddhism and business, Buddhism and science, Buddhism and technology and sustainability, gender issues, you name it. It is everything engaged and relevant. Thank you. So welcome. I'm looking forward. So August. So if you're interested, again, just fill in the expression of interest so that we can keep you notified on our database. Also outside, I have information about our Applied Buddhist Studies and Health and Social Wellbeing program from Nantian Institute. Our subjects are tailored just for you because they're all 1 week intensive. And then you can just spend a weekend, come, stay in Nantian Temple, enjoy this beautiful environment. It's 5 days of classes in such a modern facility called Nantian Institute. You cannot miss it. On top of that, if you're interested, last year we developed this Dear Buddha, Where Are You board game. It's a board game with a difference. It's a beautiful map of the 8 sacred sites. You go to each of the sites, you can read about it. There are task cards for you to do to reflect. There are Mara, Dharma cards, and then there is rainy retreat where you go into your mindful check-in. If you are interested in this board game, I didn't bring many, but I know there's a group of Singaporeans going to Australia in June, so you can make your orders with whoever's going, and we can supply you the sets. I sell these at only 20 Australian dollars at cost in Nantian, so if you're interested, please just give someone just volunteer, collect orders, and see who can bring them back for you. These are all the mischief that I'm up to. We've also developed a new Buddhist Birthday Education Project website, so wbp.org. All these mischief, just to keep us all integrated. Another mischief I just submitted to the Ministry of Education equivalent called TAXA, accreditation body in Australia, a Buddhist ministry program. What we intend to do, if all goes well, next year I will launch 2 graduate certificates, which in 1 semester you can complete 4 subjects and you get a graduate certificate, one in Humanistic Buddhism for Dharma lecturers, and another for leading meditation for meditation teachers. So if you're interested, from next year onwards, Venerable Jue Wei and I will be conducting this series of programs at Nantian Institute. Oh, lots and lots of fun happening in Nantian. How can you miss it? I'm going to end in 2 minutes. Oh, how did time fly so quickly? I'm going to share and end with a story called We Found a Hat. We Found a Hat. It's about 2 turtles. Part 1. 2 turtles. We found a hat. We found it together. But, okay, 2 turtles, huh? There's only 1 hat. And there are 2 of us. So, one turtle put the hat up on him, and it says, how does it look on me? So turtle A. Turtle B says, it looks good on you. Now turtle B puts it on and it says, how does it look on me? And turtle A tells turtle B, it looks good on you too. Wow, it looks good on both of us. But it would not be right if one of us had a hat and the other did not, right? There's only one thing to do. We must leave the hat here and forget that we found it. So turtle A and then turtle B already moved on, but turtle A is looking back. Alright, so part 2, watching the sunset. We are watching the sunset. We are watching it together. What are you thinking about? Turtle A asks Turtle B. Turtle B says, I'm thinking about the sunset. So Turtle B asks Turtle A, what are you thinking about? And Turtle A says, nothing, but his eyes are looking at the hat. Part 3, going to sleep. We are going to sleep. We are going to sleep here together. Turtle A asks Turtle B, are you almost asleep? Turtle B says, I am almost asleep. I know, some of you are almost asleep. Hang in there, almost there. Are you all the way asleep? And Turtle A is making his way down. Turtle B, with eyes closed, I am all the way asleep. I am dreaming a dream. Whoops, Turtle A is at the hat already. And he says, are you dreaming? What are you dreaming about? Now, Turtle B tells Turtle A, I am dreaming that I have a hat. It looks very good on me. You, that is Turtle A, are also there. You also have a hat. And it looks very good on you too. Turtle A asks, we both have hats. And Turtle B says, we both have hats. And now, Turtle A made his way back up where Turtle B was sleeping, and then joined him sleeping in the dream without the hat. So finally, both of them in the dream have hats. We found a hat. Humanistic Buddhism is about all of us finding our hats. In a world of scarcity, there is actually no scarcity in our minds. None at all. Let's fill our mind with wealth, with happiness, with generosity. Let's learn to fill our minds with service, with hats. With that, the story I'd like us to check out.
Let us now dedicate the merits of what you have done to all sentient beings. May palms in every world be joined in kindness, compassion, joy, and generosity. May we find security in friendship, peace, and loving care. May calm and mindful practice give rise to deep patience and equanimity. May we give rise to spacious hearts and humble thoughts of gratitude.
And may the merits of this evening's class on Humanistic Buddhism, holding true to the original intents of Buddha, be dedicated to all sentient beings, so that we all may become Buddhas through people. Omitofo. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Venerable Dr. Jue Wei. Now, everyone please rise. With joy comes, bow to Venerable Dr. Jue Wei. Thank you, Venerable.